My ex-girl still on her bullshit. Ask who I cool with, that's foolish. Tryna cop the Beamer before I turn legal. Twist lethal, hit loud in public like it's legal. Tired of hungry nights in the crib alone. I gotta put on my dogs, gotta eat more than a bone. Bars turned the city upside down, flows dyslexic, shit is real. We obliged to get hectic. Made my city more proud of the Yankees in 09. I'll be gone if I stop rapping, we'll lose two of a kind.
It's your boy Bobby.
It's your boy Mo.
Welcome back to the Real Ones Show.
Hey, that rhyme though. That was completely unplanned.
Totally not planned.
Completely not planned. I say this without the air quotes, by the way.
I can confirm there were no air quotes.
It's the show for real dudes.
What?
Going through real women too. Hey,
Going through.
hey, listen. If dudes is not unisexual to you, real women too. Real people going through real situations.
Real people with real opinions.
Real problems, real opinions, going through real situations. And it's made for those people.
Yeah. So what's up? Welcome back, guys. And Mo, welcome back. I welcome myself back.
What's poppin'?
So, Mo, what are we talking about today?
Today, man, this is one we've been talking about for a minute. We have different
This is where the real content comes.
Yeah, we like this one. We like this one. We
First one was just a
we just talking. We just talking. This one, we just talking too, but about some real shit. Like I said, this is the real ones. So, double standards.
Double standards. What about it?
Now, see, it's weird because, like, I took, the people going to be like, oh, so what does that make you, like, a professional? Like, no, listen, I took...
Yeah, again, opinions. Keyword.
All opinions.
Keyword opinions based on experiences.
Yeah, I took...
Or observations.
Right, yeah. I took, like, a women's studies course in college. Yes, I'm a guy that did that. It's weird, right?
So
cool.
You are a professional with what you
say. It's weird when I was in the class, there was like people have this stigma against like feminism about how all of them are like, oh, F men, like men ain't shit. I don't know why I censored myself, but all of them were like,
yeah, that was
fuck
weird.
Men ain't shit, like all types of shit.
Because you were talking about women's studies, and right? Like you were in that mindset.
Yeah, I was in that professional mode. But when it comes to like really being a feminist, from my understanding, was that they really just want to be seen as equals within the realm of an understanding of biology. So women know they're women. They're not unfamiliar with that knowledge. So all the limitations like realistically placed on them, they know that. What they want really achieved when it comes to feminism is equality in the areas where there should be no limitations placed on them. So what I'm going to talk about first, or what I wanted to bring up first, was pay and jobs for women versus men, right? Understandably enough, in like really physically intensive jobs where women are not going to be able to pull the same amount of workload as men, like construction and just generally very physically intensive jobs, right? I understand if you as a job, like an owner of a business, wouldn't consider paying a woman more even if you gave her the same opportunity to work, because of the fact that she's not able to physically handle more work, hence is less efficient, right? But in an office setting, which is where this really comes into play, because this is really it's a corporate issue. In an office setting, why is it that women are not getting paid the same amount as men for doing the exact same thing? This is mental. This has nothing to do with your physical capabilities. And women are just as smart as men, doing the exact same work, no physical labor whatsoever, and they're doing the exact same output and getting less pay. And this is a mentality that's existed for so long. Well, how is it still existing now when knowledge of workload and efficiency has changed? Mm-hmm. In the corporate world, it should be already understood that women are doing the exact same in this realm, because I'm sure in some situations they're doing more, but in this realm, they're doing the exact same work. Why is it that they have to be paid less? It makes no sense to me.
Well, yeah. I think some people also argue that it's kind of like a myth of that people are just it was like a single occurrence or a couple occurrence and people blow it out to proportions. I'm not saying that. I've seen people online, who are men, or ever heard of the minimists?
Right.
So I have not personally have seen it, but again, I'm in
because obviously coming from like just the standard entry level work, we're all getting paid the same. Right. Entry level, which is why a lot of people don't really have any knowledge of this because this happens
minus education, experience, and
right. Well, in a standard entry level, everyone's getting paid the same.
Right.
So from that perspective, everyone's getting paid the same. Doesn't matter what gender you are. But we're talking about like on a higher level, corporate level. This is when this is happening, where your job roles are not. They're all pretty much equalized. Like from your experience. And the amount of work you're putting in, your efficiency, your output, there's all equalized. So it's like the conflict of interest is how is it that they would be getting paid less if everything is equalized minus the gender? Like how is it that they're getting paid less?
Why is there this gap in pay where the workload is the exact same?
If I'm putting let's put this in perspective so people understand how silly this is, right? If I put 2 + 2 = 4 on a piece of paper and make sure I got my math right because I want to sound speaking on the podcast, right? Right? 2 + 2 is 3, right? So if I put 2 + 2 is 4 on a piece of paper and a woman does it the exact same way, the exact same speed, and you say, all right, cool, I'm gonna give you $1.50 for you solving that equation. But the chick, I'm gonna just give her like $1.25. And I'll say chick, just in this situation, just to explain like the kind of passiveness that like people handle this situation. It may seem more professional on a corporate level, but it's kind of like passive when you think about it. Why should I get the $1.50 and she just gets $1.25? She did the same thing.
Right.
The exact same thing.
Have you experienced this happening, or like somewhere in your workplace you've seen it happen?
No, but I've heard too much reports for even if there are isolated situations, they shouldn't even exist.
Right.
Even if it's just singular situations and spread out and it's not universal, it shouldn't be occurring at all. It just sounds dumb. Like again, when I started, I did say, okay, cool. If it's physical labor, like extremely intensive physical labor, you're not expecting like a strong woman to handle the same amount as a strong man.
I actually am seeing more and more women in like a labor intensive.
And it's great that they have the opportunity to do that without those restrictions. But what I'm saying is, even though they're more there, a strong man is gonna outperform a strong woman because of biology, right? Unless she takes steroids and she's just jacked all the way up. You're physically labor intensive work. And I'm talking about stuff that requires heavy lifting and stuff, because there are labor intensive jobs that are still equal in terms of job performance and output. We're talking about jobs that require like really heavy lifting, pushing, like heavy duty work. Yeah, I understand why a dude would get paid more depending on what kind of machines he's operating. If he's not operating machines, then I understand why he gets paid more. If it's a machine operated job, then she should still be paid more because she's operating the same machine. But in a job where you're constantly like lifting stuff manually,
seems like what kind of jobs still require that much of manual labor?
I mean, they have setups to make the lifting easier, but they're still lifting.
Right.
Like you don't have a machine to place a brick. You're still placing the brick yourself. And if you're stronger, naturally, you're going to be placing more bricks.
I feel like it's just not much to talking about without seeing like figures and or report like these reports. I wish we kind of brought these up. And
in terms of like from the corporate perspective,
yeah,
like realistically, you can understand that you ain't like you're not put like the standard build for a chick compared to me is not. I'm putting up 5 bricks. The most you're putting up is 3. So naturally, over time, I'm be putting up 50, you're putting up 30. Yes, I'm doing more work. But like I said, when it comes to pencil pushing,
right,
we're doing the same thing. It just makes no sense that you.
I agree.
That's silly.
I agree in that regard.
So men
should be paying work.
That
exact same work,
right? And I think it would be a little biased to even though I said on a physical level I'd understand, I think it'd still be kind of biased to pay a woman less even in a physical job because she has the opportunity to do the job.
Right.
So if you're not restricting her from doing the job itself, you should still pay her the same amount. If she's able to do it, you should still pay her the
I
same.
mean, yeah, it's kind of like by you not paying her the same just because she's a female.
Right.
Because of her biology.
I'm just saying I understand where it comes. Like, I understand your logic behind that. But I'm saying even understanding that logic, it'd still be biased to allow her the opportunity to do it and then not pay her that much. It'd be better to not give her the job because of that, but then you can't because it's illegal.
Yeah.
So
I mean, and that's a good thing to kind of segue in, where it's like that's why I love, like, being in New York. We have our gripes with New York. Like,
definitely.
They're like, man, I fucking hate New York. But in the grand scheme of things, I really love this place. It's because there's so much protection in the workforce for employees. The minimum wage is constantly going up. People, like, yeah, unfortunately, housing and cost of living are shit.
horrible.
All right,
Horrible.
and that's a whole episode.
Yeah, New York
day.
was not made for the standard working man. It was made for
definitely
people
not.
in the entertainment industry solely.
I
Like,
mean,
if the
even when we
prices
get to
are-
15, it's there was this report where it's like not just New York, but nationwide, you need to be making like $24 an hour just to live anywhere in the United States now.
That's really just using figures from probably California and New York.
Right, again,
like
this
you
is
can
just
you
some
can survive on McDonald's money in a different state easily.
Right. And the weird part is, there are people who get paid less than me. Like, I don't get paid a lot at all, and there are people who get paid less than me that still live on their own. Granted, it's probably Section 8 and whatnot, and I'm not taking that away from them, but I'm like,
think?
how the fuck? I'm still living under, like, I'm not afraid to admit it. I still live under my parents. I'm saving my bread.
Right.
I'm
Racking
saving
up.
that bread. But people out here, with this housing, and you see a condo every other block now, and it's like, well, this is one other place I don't get to live in because
Because it's made for actors. Like this
is made for people who are probably working in the city but come home
pretty much
come home to Brooklyn.
Pretty much.
And it's forcing other people out, aka probably me, who can't afford that. And not even can't afford that. Refuses to pay a small square footage
for a shitload of money.
I'm just that guy. It's like, yeah, sure, beggars can't be choosers, but if you're selling me a closet for $2,000, I'm not gonna live in it.
Yeah, no one's begging to be overcharged for shit. That's the thing, though. Like,
right.
Granted, I mean, if you want to live somewhere, you chose to live there. But if you're already there, like, you ain't choose to get a significant raise in your rent.
No.
Like, you were under the impression that you're going to be able to manage. Obviously, times are going to change, but
right,
you
like,
expect
things
the shit
go
to blow up. But yeah, so fast.
Things went up so fast that's why it's like, wow, we really need to raise this minimum wage just to even catch up.
And
we ain't catching up.
We didn't.
At all.
There are other states that have a higher minimum wage and their cost of living is so much less.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know if it's the same now, but I will say that a few years ago, I think Washington State had like the highest minimum wage in the country.
That's before New York is coming. By January, New York will be at 15.
Okay, and they had the highest from what I've seen. Don't quote me on it, but they were higher than New York. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
and the cost of living was nowhere near the same.
But if you're talking about Seattle, Washington,
that was a city.
That's a city that their cost of living is actually pretty high.
I don't know if would it be different, the city versus the state though?
Like inner city and then out of city cost of living is two different.
No, but I'm talking about the minimum wage. Wouldn't it be universal throughout the state, regardless of what part of the state you're living? Because I think that $15 that minimum wage is great for upstate.
Right. Well,
for the city, it's horrible.
Right now, currently, our minimum wage is 13 and change, and upstate's minimum wage is 10 still.
Oh, really?
Yeah. When we get to 15, they're gonna bump up to like 13-ish or 12.
Considering how much
they're
cost
catching
to live
up.
there is still.
But yes,
still cheap,
but like
though.
upstate is much cheaper to live than
cheap.
Like my friends are actually living 2-bedroom apartment for what was it, 600.
The amazing house of living. the biggest downside is if you want a social life, you can't stay upstate.
Well, Well, not that
There's stuff to do. No, don't get me wrong. There's stuff to do, but
you just need a car to travel to.
yeah,
work,
the scene in New
unless
York
you're living
is
in
so
a
much,
somewhat bigger city.
yeah,
Like
the scene in New York is so
Syracuse
much more
or
convenient. Yeah,
Binghamton
if you had to be in like an Albany or
Albany.
something, but because everything in the city is so concentrated and it's so easily accessible, you can get
That's
from
why
one end
I
to
like
the
it.
other in a quick train.
There's so much to do, and even with so much to do, you don't want to do anything because there's so much to do.
Yeah.
But it's just in terms of living here, it's really hard out here.
And it's more easy to communicate with like people you know here though, unless unless you're already upstate, then you already know everybody upstate. But if you're from the city and then deciding to live upstate, you're already cutting off like most of your lines of communication down here, unless you make trips very regularly, and those trips are long. And
It's kind of like a pro and con thing where it's like pro, I don't need a car.
right,
Con,
I have to
everything
take
with
a
the MTA.
Greyhound
everything with the MTA.
Yeah, you have to take a
Everything with
Greyhound
the
like
MTA car.
every week or every something like that.
Listen, I know MTA tries, but come on, man. MTA, come on.
Okay,
man.
but we're going off now on a different topic now, because we kind of have that understanding about how dumb it is to segregate pay.
Yeah.
But let's talk about something a little more personal, I guess. A little more to us.
Heavy.
Something we don't have to get too like political about. How about perceptions of individual? Let me not say this too cryptically. All right. I'm trying to.
It's not names.
Not even about names. Like, I'm just saying it like too cryptic. I should just say it like a normal person. Stop trying to be over analytical.
Even when you say
right?
person is weird.
Right? How about gender perceptions when it comes to sex and sexual behavior?
Oh, that's huge double standards. That's still under lines of double standards.
Okay.
But,
Right. So what I'm
in
getting
terms
at,
of double standards in terms of sex. So explain. What's the first thing you think about?
okay, what I'm
double
thinking
standards
about
in
is like
sex?
the typical when a dude wants to be out here slanging dick, right?
Oh, you mean like hoeing?
Yeah,
dude
they're
hoeing,
both
the
called
girl
the same thing, right? They're still called the dude a hoe sometimes, but the stigma is different.
Yeah.
Society
much more
views us
positive.
being a hoe as, hey, you're lit, like you're the shit,
Yeah,
you
like,
getting ass,
hoeing
you're out here in these
men
streets.
take it very positive. Well,
And
very
if
stigmatized
a
against
woman does it, and it's crazy because not even just from the men, really. It's like the stigma is universal. The women share that same stigma with each other. It's like, if a chick does that, it's a red flag. Like, you're a hoe, like you're undesirable, like you'll never like.
Now, it's like in this day and age, it's like being again, I'm saying hoe, but it's like it's already you feel it like it's more towards a female just because of the word.
Just the word, right?
Yeah. But in this
I understand universally. In my circles, like everybody's a hoe. Like you're a hoe, you a hoe. If you're a dude, you a chick. If you out here hoeing, you a hoe.
And there's actually
we don't think
a lot
about it
of like
negatively,
sex
though.
positive podcasts that they say everybody's a hoe. I'm
Yeah, we don't think about it negatively. Yeah, you a hoe, you a
we
hoe.
don't
Just,
say it
just
negatively
do
at
it,
all.
you
And
know?
the thing is, I love that. I want there to be a more. What makes it negative is because when men who don't want to admit they hoeing use that same negative wording against women. You know what I'm trying to say?
They're trying to say like they shouldn't be hoeing.
For example, they say, "Oh, these women out here are sluts and hoes, and they're going around sleeping with every other woman." And I'm like,
but so are you, right?
I'm like, in this day and age, consenting adults who participate, that's your business. Just have sex and use a condom.
As long as you're safe. That is my prevailing rule.
I
don't judge you if you had a couple hundred dicks in your life. As long as you are safe and you are clean.
That's actually reminds me of the OK Cupid. You can answer questions and then you get matched based on your questions you answer. There's actually a question is like, do you think negatively if a woman sleeps with 100 guys, and there's one for a guy, or it's like you think negatively if a guy sleeps with 100 girls. And I obviously say no to both.
Right. I don't care. Personally, I understand what people do. I understand. Don't say agree. Completely don't agree. But it's this is one thing that makes it silly, right? And you think about it in the grand scheme of things. I've been alive for 28 years, right?
So we know.
So as far as we are aware. And in those 28 years, for 29 of them, I understood humans. That sounds dumb. Anyway, I just had to say something stupid just to balance it out. But what I'm getting at is from my experience being an adult, right? Being a legal, biologically developed adult, I have understood human behavior. I feel like more than other humans who have been older than me or who profess to be grown understand human behavior. I know if you place restrictions on somebody, the natural mindset is for them to want to break free of it and do the exact opposite, right?
Okay.
And when I say restrictions, I mean like restrictions on how they want to be. When you place a stigma on someone for being a hoe, if they decide to be sexually liberated and free, right? They force themselves to be in a relationship just to not be stigmatized. But it doesn't change the hoe in them. You get what I'm saying?
I know, it's still like, it's like,
hold on.
but that doesn't make them not a hoe.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is saying, just because you're
Sexually liberated, I like that.
Right. I'm just sexually liberated for me equals hoe. So, do the math. It's the same thing. When I say one is the other, that's all I mean is sexually liberated. It's not a negative connotation coming from me. It's just, I'm a hoe, you a hoe. If we both out here just slanging, then we equal.
Just slang it.
So, yeah, just slang it. So it doesn't take the hoe out of them, right?
Right.
So
don't lie to yourself.
Don't lie to your. Hit these niggas. Go ahead. Hit these niggas. Go ahead.
Don't lie to yourself. And I've noticed this in a couple of personal friends that I have. Is like, you want to explore yourself sexually. You want to explore, other things and other people in a sexual manner, but you don't want to be labeled such as going around. And that's the problem. And then what might happen is you're in a committed relationship, not getting the desire, but you're just, then you end up like, you may or may not, depends on the person, being faithful to that person. And then, you feel horrible, like they feel horrible, or like they're mad or angry. But again, it happens in many different ways. But it's like, don't lie to yourself. If you want to explore, communicate that to anybody who like, listen, I'm just exploring. I want to explore. And don't worry about what people call you at the end of the day.
You have to be comfortable. Yeah, you have to be comfortable with how you want to live. And even in the situations that you were mentioning, when you said whether they may or may not cheat, the ones who don't are very miserable. Because not only do you force yourself to commit to someone, you're not really enjoying that situation. And 9 times out of 10, it leads to either you being disassociated with the person to where, you exist in the same space, but you don't have any kind of contact with them. Or you end up eventually still breaking up. Yeah. And then being free after that. Still.
Right.
Why waste your time when you have the opportunity to be free and be liberated and do what you want to do? Yeah. Why waste it being confined when later on you're still going to do it anyway?
Right. And this only applies to people who feel this way. And
when you do it like that, the later you decide to settle down and commit and do all of that, when you finally get all that out your system, it's going to be too late at that point.
No, I disagree with that.
Not for being liberated, not for being free, but when you actually decide to commit. Like when are you like who are you gonna commit with? Like at that
committed with listen. I can't wait till I'm in my 30s or 40s. There's actually probably more sexually active people and or like more like dating going on in older relationships based on from what I've seen.
What I'm talking about is like when it comes to deciding to settle down and formulate a long-lasting relationship that has different elements to it.
If you choose to do so.
No, yeah. If you want to slang forever, do that. What I'm saying is some people do have. This is the thing. I'll say it on my perspective, right? Like right. I enjoy. Or not enjoy, but like my current mindset, like how I am right now, I'm not willing to commit. Really, I'm just out here just experiencing life still. There's a lot of things that I'm not completely satisfied with in my own life or whatnot. Not to get too personal, but it's like I prefer to avoid committing to someone if I'm not going to give them my fullest. That being said, I don't want to do that forever. I don't have intentions of doing that forever. So I rather get that out while I still have youth and then decide to make those commitments later on than commit now, be miserable, and then try to be free later on. Because the older I'm going to get, naturally you're going to want more companionship.
Right.
You can still be sexually free, but you still gonna want to commit more the older you get, because that's the point now where you're trying to settle down, you're just trying to relax and enjoy life, and you're not really trying to be as social. You're just trying to, I mean, granted, some older people, they definitely go travel a lot, but I don't call that really being social. You're just traveling. You're just going around the place. You're not really, you're still
interacting.
Yeah, you're just traveling. So at that point, you still want that companionship, and it doesn't make sense to try to be free at that point in your life, because it's at that point that you really want to settle down. I wouldn't say settle, because settle is a word that I don't like to use, because people don't really settle down; they settle up.
Settle up. Okay.
What I mean is, when they say, "Oh, it's time for me to settle down," right? They just mean it's time for them to accept whoever they're with and just let life be.
Think so?
Yeah. I think a lot of the time, I think that's, when you use that term, generally, they kind of just like
I'm done
admit. It's like, okay, you know what? Let me just commit to whatever I got going. This one works for me right now. Let's just go. Like, you've not really experienced too much to know if this person that you're with is better than somebody else, but you just like, you know what? You're right here. You're doing it, so let's...
Okay, I can see where you're coming from.
So I don't prefer the term settle. I prefer settle up in terms of when you do decide to settle, like the person you do settle with is, you're not settling because they're there. You're settling because you don't want to jeopardize what you have with them because it's so amazing. You don't just want to commit just because they're available. They're the most available person at the time. You know, that's settling down.
Okay.
But when you settle up, in my opinion, when that settle up concept is when you really have to commit to someone because this situation that you have makes you feel the most lit you've ever felt, and you ain't trying to mess it up.
Okay. Now, going a little back.
No, you got to go back. I drifted off from the whole thing. All right, go on.
No, just going a little back with the whole like saying on the whole double standards and thing and whatnot.
Right, yeah.
Fuck boys be fuck boys. All right, they're gonna. There are people who will tear you down no matter what.
Of course,
because of their own insecurities.
They're gonna call you a hoe and then have 20 girlfriends.
Listen, I've been rejected and I've been sad from it, but I've never been rejected and like, you know, called her every like degrading name in the book.
Yeah.
It's like fucking that's what you call a fuckboy. That is fuckboy material right there.
Yeah, like they feel like they should be at the pinnacle of your interest. If
when you're not interested, have the expectation that yes is always the answer. Yeah. These yes people.
So going even further back from, unless you're still going.
No, go ahead.
So going even further back now, let me get back, because I know I'm the one that drifted off, I'll admit it. Let me get back on what I was mentioning about like the whole concepts. Like, again, when Bobby mentioned not lying to yourself, right? Yeah. Because I've seen it too often. I've seen it as well. And I'm only 28. I say only 28. 28 may not be the youngest, may not be the oldest, but I've seen it too often for my age to know that that's a standard. People either commit to someone that they just felt comfortable with at a certain time and never really explored any options and ended up being miserable for it, or they're just out here just cheating just because that's when they decide that they do want that. I guess they do want that one person, that convenience there, but they also want to express their sexual freedom, and you can't force that on somebody. Right. You know what I mean? Just because you want to express your sexual freedom, but you want them to be there for you at all times, like they may not want that. There's some people who are okay with that. A little
selfish on your end.
Some people are okay with that. Some people are okay with being one of three or one of two. But some people are not with that, and for those people, if they do not want to share your attention with somebody else, you shouldn't have to subject them to that. You shouldn't subject them to that. That's unfair to them. You know what I mean? No. So it also goes with, for you not lying to yourself, it also goes with you not lying to others, because if you're willing to lie to yourself, then nobody is safe.
Oh, definitely. Because
if you lie to yourself first, then you're willing to lie to anybody else. And if you tell yourself that you're prepared for a relationship and prepared for a monogamous commitment, and you know that you're not prepared for it, then you're already setting yourself up for failure, because you didn't want to be seen negatively in the eyes of people who are irrelevant to you. I say this like, a lot of people, when they like have their problems and they bring it to me, I don't want to seem like a complete dick, but a lot of times I say, is this person paying your light bill? No. Cool. Are they paying your internet bill? No. Cool. All right. Rent? No rent, huh? So you're basically... And they at least putting in on your groceries. Yeah, I'm getting somewhere here.
I know, but I'm like, there's already a saying for that.
They are not taking care of any part of your life. Why are their opinions relevant to you?
So how we say that out here is, if you're not feeding me or fucking me, your opinions don't matter.
That's the problem, because we talking about fucking.
Well, I'm saying.
So, even if you're smashing, your opinion shouldn't matter if you're not taking care of anything else. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because if you're smashing and you still stigmatizing them, you're
right,
still in the same situation. Right. I'll rule out the fucking part in this one. Yeah. If they're not paying for anything in your life, and we have to use finances in this situation, because how else are you going to take care of somebody, right? Like in this situation, if you're not taking care of nothing for this person, you are not relevant in their life whatsoever. What would your opinion matter to me? It doesn't matter to me. As long as I am being safe with what I'm doing, I only need to worry about my opinion, right? And for those people, if your opinion of yourself is that you're going to be a hoe if you are going to be sexually free, then what is your opinion of yourself if you're a cheater? Is it somewhat better? You somewhat have a better outlook on yourself because you're a cheater and not a hoe?
What if their fetish is cheating?
Then that's an open relationship, and you should, again, that should.
Well, that's not even an open relationship. That's not really cheating.
No, it's still. I mean, based on the
an open relationship is someone understanding, or like someone consciously knowing that.
Okay, well, if it's okay, going by that, if it's accepted, if it's like not considered cheating, if it's an open relationship, then if you get off by cheating, you're still being selfish as shit.
Well, yeah, I'm just like, raising that point.
But how does your perception of yourself change if you're a cheater? It should be worse if you're a cheater,
maybe
right?
They get off.
Like you should hate yourself if you're a cheater.
Legit, I think there's a fact for that.
Right, but I'm saying, even if you get off on that fact, you should also have the knowledge that you're cheating. You should still have a more negative outlook on yourself if you're a cheater than if you're just out here slanging it.
We know some people ain't shit.
Right, but I'm saying, like, your perception of yourself should be like, because what's the first thing people do when they got caught cheating, right? They start panicking, like they go off on this, depending on the situation. Maybe they didn't care to begin with.
Right.
But if you actually were committed in a relationship, and the first, like, you found out you were cheating, people go through measures to not get caught. It's the first thing you do when you get caught. You start panicking, you get anxious, like, you start apologizing, you start crying, all this shit that you shouldn't have done to begin with. So what is your outlook on yourself doing all this stuff when you're a cheater, as opposed to if you just decided to be by yourself to begin with and just bust it open whenever you felt like it? No pun intended. I'm dead ass.
Thing is, I honestly, at that point, like, if someone was into that and strictly they don't care, Ooh, excuse me. What they think about themselves. I hope I don't start hiccuping. But going on what you were talking about before in terms of cheating. Random side note. Does it make you a bad person if...
Yes.
Okay.
Go on.
It doesn't make you a bad person. And I'm just going to tell my side of the story. I know somebody who cheated on somebody, and I didn't tell that person.
Does it make you a bad person?
Yes.
Nah.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you why. If it even matters, really, because Go on.
Oh no, it's because like my relationship with that guy was not, of
Even if
of
yo,
high
it's crazy.
status.
Damn. Damn. It's a conflict of interest. Really a conflict of interest, right? But I think me.
Do you want me to get a little more detailed? I can. There's no names here.
No, you can add details. Go ahead.
Okay, so the detail is I know of my final semester in college. This girl who I knew had a relationship, but the guy was not in the college, was back home. And I'm not even going to use locations of where they live because that might, out a lot some people.
Right.
So I knew of her again, and these were like, how you call these, acquaintances. They weren't, they were friends, but they were acquaintances, like,
Right.
So when I was walking in the hallway, like, and the male lived across from me, and I knew about the female, and when I lived across from me, you know how thin these walls are in college,
Right?
So
right,
I hear
right.
everything.
Oh yeah.
I hear everything, and I'm like, so I know for a fact that the dude liked her, but I didn't know that she was gonna bust it open because she has this relationship, So everybody ain't shit and whatnot.
Yeah,
but
even in college, we've experienced so much people just cheating left, right, and center. Like just even
Right.
in our little short stint in college, and getting outside of college became even worse. Like I'm even more keen to it now than anything else. I'm like, yo, you.
I don't think for me. Well, then again, I haven't.
Well, I guess, I guess.
I haven't been in a lot of situations.
Yeah.
I mean, I have.
Okay, I've literally been in situations and literally heard of situations,
Right.
and I ain't no cheater.
Anyway, back to that original story. I ain't no cheater. I don't know if I'm technically been cheated on.
I may have potential to cheat.
We have potential.
I mean, I'm saying this like this. I may have potential to cheat because I'll talk about it as soon as he says.
Okay, let me wrap up the original point. So I've always thought about it, and it's like something to and the funny part is so years later after that and whatnot, so I know she cheated, and I see her always on Instagram with the boyfriend, and I'm like, at some point I just like to fuck with you. I just want to yo, you remember that couple nights though. just to stir shit up for no reason. But it's kind of here. It's not that you're like, oh look, you're happy, and fuck that. But it's just interesting. Where it's I know you did something.
I know you ain't shit.
I know you ain't shit.
Yeah,
but
I know
here you
you're not
making
shit.
this front.
Yeah, he's not. But that's people. People love people. People are more comfortable with lies than they are with the truth.
Yeah.
They want to hear the truth, but no one really wants to focus on the truth. I think about situations a lot of times too when people are obsessively jealous and they want to search phones and want to see what you're doing, where you at any given time. A lot of times, not all the time, probably fewer times than anybody. It does happen.
Don't go through people's phone, man.
But when it happens, we're gonna talk about that. But when it happens, and you find out that they're cheating, but you choose to stay. Why did you go through all that effort to find out that they're cheating when you had no intentions of going anywhere?
I mean,
why didn't you just leave it up to your
Maybe
imagination?
they just really care about that person.
But why would you stress yourself out wanting to find out if he was cheating if you weren't planning on leaving? You just wanted to stress yourself out.
So you're
because
saying-
now that lingering thought is going to be in your head
Right.
like, oh, he having sex with somebody else, or oh, she having sex with somebody else. But you ain't going nowhere. Why waste your time stressing yourself out when you had no intentions of leaving? If I am a cheater and I got caught and you decide you're going to stay with me, I'm leaving you. Because now what you're going to do is make the situations between us tense. Because every time, even if I'm not cheating, you're going to make me feel like I am.
Right. And it's shit, I might as well.
And I'm going to go right back into it, so I may as well just be by myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, the thing, and
So don't do all that
here's the
extra
thing.
shit and then...
That's what you would expect an adult to do. But a lot of times, I feel like you find people is yeah, I cheated, yeah, or one party cheated, they stay with them still, and now they're still together, and there's this concert yeah, fuck that bitch.
Yeah, it's well, That's what I'm saying. That comes with the whole settle down concept, is because you're compromising on your own happiness because you think this is the only cooch for you or this is the only dick for you. There's plenty more dicks and cooches out there. This ain't the only one.
Sexually free before you settle down.
Yeah, this not the only one.
And you don't have to
settle up.
Fling at everybody. You know.
No, listen, what we say, listen, we're just saying, should you feel like having sex with whoever you feel like having sex with,
do it.
You should follow the stigmas of other people. You will be stigmatized for it. That's just not something we can control. That's just how society is.
That's just bitches.
But you should do it as freely as you feel like doing it without feeling any stigma, because you're in control of your own body. Ain't nobody else.
Shout out to the women who,
Shout out to the women who've been out here just, letting dudes smash.
I don't know why when you say it like that, it sounds...
But you take it how you want to take it.
I know, but I'm just saying,
literally.
It's like... thank you, women, for letting dudes smash.
Yeah, no. Thank you for letting this.
But I'm saying, like,
because we're gonna do it anyway, so I can't.
Let me put it in the way that I want to do it. Thank you for being yourself. Thank you for giving a fuck.
Thank you for being free and not lying to yourself.
Giving a fuck.
Thank you for not lying to yourself.
There you go. That's even better. Thank you for not lying to yourself.
Thank you for not lying to yourself.
Be you. Be free. Do not give a fuck what any men or other women say.
Be free till you decide to not be free.
Sure.
Because we all have, like, everybody, but when some people have their moments when they're like, yeah, I think I've gotten it out my system. Like, I've done all that I needed to do and everyone I needed to do. I'm good.
Then you get in a relationship that no, urge is back.
I mean, it's a thin line, but at least when you did it when you were younger, you got all that out of you. Yeah. You have less regrets when you're older.
No, it is true. And going also a little.
And if you're still a hoe at that point, then ain't no saving.
Personal, like. Nah, actually, I'm not going to say that.
No, say it.
No, I was just going to say, like, I know somebody who's younger and kind of like in that kind of same situation where it's like...
Where he or she's trying to commit too early?
No, like, she just got out of a relationship and, like, she's like, well, I want to experience things. I'm like, well, whatever that... Like, sexual or non-sexual, it doesn't matter. Like, go experience...
It's going to end up being sexual.
Go experience your things. And the thing is, I'm thinking is like, well, you just don't want to be labeled... as a hoe or a person who gives it freely. Anyway, it's me being truthful for her. Like, just do what you want to do.
Pretty much, man. Your life is too short, bro.
Yeah.
Even if you live 100 years,
it's a much better scenario because you're young.
Even if you live 100 years is long, so I'm not gonna say that. But your chances of living 100 years are not that high. So if you live 60 years, that's still short. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, there's still so much that could be done. So while you have life, just live the shit, man. Just live safe. Don't be a daredevil. Don't play with death. Don't do that.
Don't play with death.
Yeah, don't play with death. You can die in an instant, so you can cut your life even shorter. Don't play with death. But while you have life, man, live, man. All the shit that you have, like, you mentally restrict yourself from doing, as long as they're safe activities, do them, man.
Yeah. Absolutely right.
And don't lie to yourself. If you know you want to, if you see somebody sexually attractive and you feeling sexual urges towards them and you want to have sex with them, that's why I'm not even specifying gender here.
I know. I'm just saying, like, for anybody listening.
Yeah, if you want to be sexual, and I'm going to keep saying sexual and not anything else because it's going to lead to sex. You're an adult. You're going to have sex. It's going to end up being sex. Right. So if you feel like having sex with someone, are you feeling that attracted to them? Do the thing, man. As long as there is an agreement, you made that agreement that you are not trying to commit.
Yeah, and you
don't make don't lead the other person on to believing there's commitment. In any situations that I've been in, I have constantly, every time it's popped up, because some people are gonna catch feelings like you, repeatedly.
And I'm glad that you're bringing that up.
You have to enforce it. As much as it pops up, listen, I told you from the beginning, you can't call me a liar, you can't say this or that about me. Besides that, I am honest, because I've told you from the beginning that I am not looking for anything.
It was damn near
anything
commitment. Signing
literally. No, I literally pulled up the contract like we're just having sex.
It's just
I shouldn't have to be that blunt.
shouldn't.
I shouldn't. It should be understood from my comments of being
But
trying
again,
to be nice. If I have to be blunt about it,
This is what we were doing back in the day in college because, you know, we were younger and people were, you know, around our age. Nowadays, I feel like since we're older, it's like if you don't understand that from the get-go,
yeah, you shouldn't have, like,
then you shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, even I mean, I feel like,
well, I'm saying like how like we laid it out. We don't have to go that direct.
yeah,
I feel like today.
yeah, no, I mean, yeah, in college, I guess, yeah, when you're younger, you kind of have to sugarcoat it because people like to be sugarcoated because they have no, like, real concept of reality yet. You know, they don't have the fullest not everybody. Not everybody. Yeah. Some people do. But not everybody has the fullest concept of the reality yet, and they don't understand that I could tell you whatever nonsense I want to tell you. At the end of the day, if I just want to have sex, that's just what I want to do. So even if I tell you before that I just want to have sex, or if I tell you before, oh, I'm just trying to chill, like, at the end of the day, it's still going to lead to the same thing. So however I word it, it's still going to be the same thing. Whether or not you choose to vibe with it is up to you. Right. But I shouldn't have to sugarcoat it for you to understand. Or it shouldn't have to get to the point where I'm super blunt about it. Because it should be understood from the comments. And two, I shouldn't have to sugarcoat it because we're both grown. And we both have sexual urges. So it should be understood. Like if I say, so you trying to come over? Like that's universal sign for, okay, I'm clapping them cheeks, right? You shouldn't have to spell it out after that. If you by yourself and you ask somebody to come over, it's universal, it's going down, right? Yeah. So you don't really have to go all brazen with it and be like, okay, well, you know, you shouldn't have to be too cryptic, but you shouldn't have to really spell it out. But when you do decide that you just want to be freed or liberated or whatever the situation is, however you want to call it, without it being stigmatized, you should be honest with yourself first and be direct about it. Just listen, to let them know, like, listen, I'm not trying to be in a committed relationship with you. I shouldn't have to tell you that there's probably going to be other people that I'm going to have sex with. You should understand that by me saying that I don't want to be committed with you, that's understated. Like there will be other people. Right. So as long as I'm telling you I don't want to be in a committed relationship with you, I enjoy what we're doing right now, but I don't want a commitment. Yeah, let's have fun. Let's just get it in. Let's have fun.
Let's bust it open.
Yeah. And you shouldn't be triggered by stigmas, man. It's hard. It's easier said than done,
obviously. And again, we're talking from, you know, a male's perspective. I know it's
so much harder for women. We know now. I don't fully understand, but I know it must be hard to just be direct because you're dealing with a lot more stigmas. And not a lot of times are you mentally as you're not mentally as stable to handle them as others. Some women are strong as hell mentally. They don't care about shit. Right. You can tell them whatever. It's like, all right, cool. Next dude coming. What up? Mm-hmm. But so not a lot of women are as mentally strong to be able to shake off negative comments or even embrace them. Mm. You know what I mean? Because some women are like, oh, you call me, all right, cool, nigga.
Yeah, that's a good thing too, embracing, because a lot of people nowadays embrace those stereotypes, embrace those
they turn it into
dehumanizing words. It's like, shit, I'm a hoe. I'm the best fucking hoe.
Yeah, I'm getting
mines.
I'm getting niggas. Like, you turn it into a sport at that point.
Like, the thing is, wow. The sex Olympics.
That's another thing too. Like, making sex into a sport is fun.
Well, I mean,
like in terms of what you do, like I don't know. We just gonna talk. Just gonna talk.
Well, just to wrap up the other thing is like, just be you. You know, don't embrace. Like, if you don't want, you don't have to embrace it. But the best thing I feel like is embracing those. Yeah,
no, you don't have to embrace it. Just understand it and accept it.
It's gonna happen to from fuckboys, and
if you can embrace it, embrace it, because it helps the game for us too. If we don't have to tiptoe around you just to
be direct,
just to get to the end result, then it makes it better for us too. Yeah, because we're not gonna tiptoe around it. You know what I mean?
What are we at? We have 49 minutes right now. Do we have time for? Yeah, why not? Talk.
Yeah, bro.
What are you talking about? So you were talking about?
What I'm talking about making it into a sport is like, because we know as guys we're gonna bust early.
Oh.
You know, like,
It's like, oh.
that, or no, we're not gonna. But when I say early, it's based on the concept of time of how you feel early is. But we know we have the one.
seconds.
We got the one shot per few minutes. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, okay. The reload time.
Yeah, the
it's
reload
like the old
time.
school revolutionary
Yeah,
musket.
No,
It was like,
we have a savage
I'm
reload
putting
time.
the
Not
ball
everybody
in.
is built like not everybody is built to go back to back all the time. All the time.
All the time. Oh, yeah, that's the
Even
thing.
if you're good at doing it occasionally, you're still gonna get
There's
caught
those times
sometimes.
where
Like,
it's
oh,
like,
this is
oh,
too
just
late.
give me-
Let me just pass out. Let me catch myself. Even if you're good at doing it all the time. So for us, because we know we have such a long reload time, and women can freaking bust like us repeatedly. What I like to do is I like to see who does it first.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So at least then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm in good shape. At least if she gets like one or two off, then I did
At
something.
least, for everyone.
Right. So when I get mine out, she's at least content because she got her couple. There are some women, of course, who are voracious and they just want like 50 shots, but I ain't tripping over those. For me, if I can get you a couple off, or at least one off, because some women are just hard to please.
Mm-hmm.
If you can at least get off that one first, then my one, I can offset my one, because then I'm
Right.
like, okay, cool. At least I got.
I definitely agree.
At least you got yours.
I was gonna say some like wild shit in the sport, like you like lifting or something. Or
Nah, man. I'm not doing no heavy lifting like that, bro.
Yeah,
Because that leads to injuries, and those injuries you can't recover from those.
I mean, those are good stories, though.
That you broke your dick. Like, how do you bounce
Well,
back
not
from
breaking
that? That's
dicks.
not a good story. I wouldn't tell anybody that happened. I would have just lived with that truth.
You know how I got these scars.
You take off your shit hella crooked. Your shit have a right angle on it.
It's like, yeah, I had surgery on my. Let's just say I lifted her a little too abruptly, and my right arm did not follow.
Yeah, man. Like, but yeah, that's pretty much. I mean, the core of the first part of the conversation.
Right.
I'm pretty sure we talked.
We talked about
it.
double
It was
standards.
it was too standard. Like, it's easy. Like, yes,
Yes, women should be paid the same.
Pay them the same.
the
That's
same work.
straightforward.
Across the board.
We went off on a tangent with the sex part because
now,
that's
you
so
see,
that's
I mean,
so wide.
Well, yeah, because there is a double standard in terms of sex, in terms of
In terms of perception, I don't think
yeah,
it's so much in terms of sex.
Because
it's in
there
terms
are
of
people
perception.
still now today, and there was this like Twitter meme picture, right, where it had like these guys' tweets. It was like, oh, I'm tired of these thoughts, taking off their clothes or like being revealing in pictures, and literally like they had a picture in there like as their profile picture of them like half shirt trying to make a muscle, and it's like, word. Fucking word. It's like, yo, thought, relax.
Pretty much. I mean, yeah, even that too is like, give them the same. The thing is with that, when it comes to pictures and stuff like that, is it should just come with an acknowledgement. Like, we all know at this point, like, if you posting as a chick, if you posting a picture of you half naked, you want attention. Ain't no going around that. Whether or not you want that thirsty attention,
You can't feel yourself.
or you just want people to. As guys, we want attention too. I ain't gonna post a picture of myself with my shirt off if I don't expect somebody somewhere to at least hit the like or say something about it. Otherwise, I could just look in the mirror. If you're posting it, then you expect some kind of commentary or some kind of attention-based reaction. Ain't no going around that. And nobody can tell me otherwise. It wouldn't make sense for you to post a picture. You can take a picture, leave it on your phone, but the minute you decide to post it, you're not feeling yourself at that point. You want other people to feel you too.
That's true.
So it comes with understanding. If you post a picture, if you half naked, you want attention. Cool, that's fine.
And that's fine.
That's fine. But, and as guys too, we shouldn't be like, if we on their pictures like, oh, thirst trapping. Like, yes, nigga, that's obviously what it is. You don't need to comment that. We know that. Let the dudes who want to be thirsty be thirsty. And for the chicks who are denying that that's what they're posting, shut up. That's you want attention. No, you want attention. Dudes too. If I post a picture of myself without a shirt on, it's for attention.
What? Okay, two things with the whole thirsty thing. One, What do you define as
Okay,
as a
by
male?
thirsty, I mean like the dudes who would be under the comment like, "Oh, I'll drink your bathwater." Like, don't be like she doesn't know you from
I've seen
anywhere.
that before.
Like, she doesn't
That's
know you from
weird.
anywhere. She'll never
Right.
be in the same bathtub with you. What's the purpose of saying these?
bathwater.
What is the purpose of saying these things to her? Like saying, "Oh, you're pretty." Okay, cool. That's what she's fishing for. She wants like just simple compliments like that. When it comes to being thirsty, it's like saying
you're-
excessive shit.
So
that makes
again,
no
something
sense.
as simple as that, like, oh, you're looking good, you're pretty. That's not.
I mean, no, it's not thirsty. I mean, it doesn't need to be said. You can just leave the like and keep it pushing if you feel like it's thirsty, because there's different, of course, different people have different like opinions of what thirsty is, and some people just saying, "Oh, you look pretty," to some dudes.
So some dude that's thirsty.
That's thirsty, but I don't see that as thirsty.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna comment.
So
"Oh, you're
thirsty
pretty,"
is
if
like
you know
going
that-
above.
Going above and beyond. For me, it's going above and beyond. Like saying some unnecessary shit, like, "Oh, I wanna be your baby daddy" or something like that. Like, she don't know you from anywhere.
Right.
Nor does she, and nor with comments like that is she want to know you from anywhere, because you're wildin'. You know what I mean? Like, don't say no shit like that. Like, that's wasted effort. Or like saying I would think it. I'd be like, "Oh, I'll clap them cheeks," but I'm not going to comment it. That's just, it should be an unsaid. Like, okay, if you happen to want the cheeks clapped, I will gladly do that for you, but I'm not gonna tell you that. You don't need to know. You know that. You're gone. The most I would do, and I don't really be on Instagram like that, doing the whole liking spree shit, but for me personally, like, if I do find a chick attractive, I'll just leave a like and keep it pushing.
Yeah, I don't even like.
I'm not gonna feed
Yeah, I
your
don't
ego
really do
like
that.
that. Like, you know you look good. I don't gotta feed your ego. I'm not gonna feed, because you've heard it on 50 other pictures. That one picture that you heard that you didn't look good, you're not gonna believe it.
I definitely feel like I personally have like. It's not that I am less interested in women. It's that I don't
I
go.
hope not.
It's that I don't go out of my way
Nah,
for women.
Nah,
And
some dudes do, and they, it work. Everything works for everybody.
Right.
For some dudes who are passive, who don't really care, like, cooch comes, it doesn't come as much because they're not really trying. But it's not really. I mean, it depends on what
it's
your
not like a life
priorities
and
are.
death.
Yeah, it's not. You're not gonna die without it. You know what I mean? And
Ooh,
the
legit
ones
what
that
I
you
told
have
this
to, the
girl.
ones that you're
What is
not
this?
gonna, the ones you're gonna die over, probably not really all that worth it. Like, you probably get it, and it's like, oh well,
Legit, what I told this last girl that was
it's like, this is underwhelming.
It's like, listen, man, I have a head in the well, and it's fine. You know,
I ain't
my
gonna
time will
die.
come.
Yeah, I'm not gonna die. As because if I try to go hard, this is the disappointing thing. Like, you try to go hard, right? It's like, oh yeah, I really like this chick, right? But in your mind, you're not really interested in her. You just want to smash, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you finally get the opportunity to do it, and then it's like, damn, this was whack. You don't want to go through all that effort just to find out this shit trash. You know what I mean? So sometimes it's best to just be chill. Like, for those chicks that are worth more than just you smashing them, yeah, you put in the effort for them. But if your only intentions are just to get some, like, don't work too hard,
Don't work too
because you're
hard.
gonna be disappointed if
I can get
it's
behind
trash.
that.
You're gonna be horribly disappointed, because then money is invested, time is invested, and
You got to figure out a whole process,
just
the
to,
whole
just to
calculation.
stop
like,
dealing
okay.
with the person. It's like,
Okay, so how many dinners? How many gifts do I need to invest in?
And
this?
yeah, I don't care what anybody says too in this situation. Like, as a guy, as a grown adult at this point, like sex is relevant. It's not something like, it's not something that is like overly like necessary to be hyped, but it's relevant. It's a relevant part of being an adult. It's great. It's fun. Sex is dope.
Yeah.
It's dope.
More now.
It's dope. So it's going to be an expectation at some point. Like, if I'm putting in time, effort, money into a relationship with a chick, it's expected at some point that I'm going to get some.
So
It doesn't have to be the first date.
right,
It doesn't have to be the second date.
but you're saying,
But I'm not going to keep investing time and money.
So when you see like on dating profiles, let's say, like I know you don't really do a lot of online dating, or maybe you do.
Not really.
I don't know.
No. I'm dry as shit, bro.
I'm trying, but you did online dating, or you have had an online dating profile.
Yeah.
So have you ever seen like an online dating profile where it said women like, oh, I'm not interested in sex? Like, what do you think about that?
Dumb.
Dumb? So
if you
say like
if you didn't go on the site, because there are options when you go on the site, right, to say, oh, just looking for friends or whatever.
Right.
If you didn't select one of those options, but you don't want sex, what do you want?
relationship.
What does that come with? You want a you want a relationship with no sex, so you're gonna get it from somebody else. Because it's gonna be a necessary part of the relationship, huh?
I said that's not what they said, but
no, but I'm saying if they're not getting it from you, they're gonna be getting it from somebody else. Because somebody gonna need to supply it.
Someone supply.
Yeah, it's dumb. Don't say that. Don't waste nobody's time.
Well, yeah, because a lot of times when
because my first comment would have been like, so who's gonna be having sex with you if not me?
Well, because personally, it's like you were saying, in this day and age, sex is kind of important in a relationship nowadays.
No, it's one of the things that keeps people sane.
Right.
Because
but like a lot of people need to like know about the sex before they're committed to somebody.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But it goes back into the fear of not wanting to be stigmatized because people don't want to try it out first.
Yeah, it's a vicious cycle.
If you want to buy a car, this is how people should view relationships realistically, like getting a car. Right.
Right.
When you're getting a car, you don't want to just get a car immediately with no research. Not even in some cases, no test drive.
Yeah.
Like you have no experience using the car whatsoever, no knowledge on the car, but you just want to just jump in it and drive it.
So they need a
preview. You need understanding about it first. And when it comes to a human being, understanding how they have sex is a part of eventually committing with them.
Right.
Because what you get then, yeah, people might do things to spice it up, but at the end of the day, the sex is going to be the same, really. Like the feeling you get from it is going to be the same. Not talking about like how they do it, but the feeling you get from it. Like your sex can be regular as hell, but the feeling that somebody gets from it is amazing. You know what I mean? As opposed to somebody else who you may do the exact same thing, but they're not feeling the same way about it. You know what I mean? Mm. So at the end of the day, if it appeals to you like that, then you can commit to it. You can buy the car. You can take it off the lot, spend forever with the car until the car breaks down or quote unquote they die, or shit naturally fizzles out sometimes. Like some people just lose interest in each other over time, just naturally. I can't speak for that because I don't really know. I don't really have knowledge of that like that. But
okay,
what I'm saying is you do want to test drive. You do want to get your research in first. And when it comes to dealing with a human being, that's part of research, especially as a grown person.
Yeah.
If you're a kid, then enjoy all the simple things.
Right.
Enjoy the simplicity of the relationship.
You should not be engaged.
Yeah. Don't focus on sex. Don't make sex a focus. Yeah, don't do that.
If somehow you're listening to this,
don't make sex a focus. But as an adult, it's gonna be a part of things. Like you're not gonna escape that reality.
Right.
Like you can enjoy company, intimacy, like being able to do things together, give things to each other, all that extra stuff. But at the end of the day, like it's crazy to think about it, but I've been alive long enough to understand sex can really like break a relationship.
Oh yeah, of course.
Easily.
Of course.
You can be doing everything right and the sex can be trash and it can break the relationship.
Yeah, there are people who has a very high importance in sex. It's like, if I don't see myself sexually with you, then this is not going to work out.
And as it should be. Because at the end of the day, if you don't see yourself sexually with somebody, you're gonna see yourself sexually with somebody else.
Have you ever had sex with somebody who you had sex with them and he's like, I can never date you?
Yes, but only because initially that was the case.
Oh, okay.
Initially, I had no interest in dating.
Oh, dating. I'm saying like purely like
after the fact,
because of the sex is like, you're saying I
talk crazy, but I have not had enough sexual experiences for that particular one to ever pop up. Now.
Same.
Yeah, it's never popped up for me.
Okay.
I've always been lit.
Okay. I just wanted a vulgar question.
Hey, you know what? To wrap it up, let me bring this up too, because it's another one of my wild tangents for today, right?
You only get two of them.
No, I get as much. You get as much too. We do this, man. Talk forever. But
talk forever.
As in a relationship too, Or should we just use it? Should we just talk about this on a different topic? Should we expand on cheating in a different topic?
No, I feel like this is a good time.
So let me just talk about this then.
Do it.
As no matter whether or not you're, I have to specify in this case. When you are in a relationship with someone, you're in a committed relationship, you decided this is the designated dick or this is the designated cooch that I'm going to be with for as long as I can be with them. If you have disagreements with them, right? And it is not such a disagreement so as, this person completely violated who I am as a person in terms of they completely they completely violated my trust, or they completely violated my body in terms of abuse or whatnot, right? If they have not done any of those things, right? You get in a disagreement with somebody and you withhold sex, and then you get mad that they cheated on you. Stop.
Okay, now I know where you're going with this. I was like, where are you going with this?
Yeah. You see, everybody was trying to. What I'm saying is,
so you say
if you're in a relationship,
sum it up. If you're in a relationship and you use sex as a weapon,
as a bargaining tool,
as a bargaining chip or weapon, it was like, oh well, if you do this,
if you withhold sex, understand that. This is why I brought this up is because earlier I said I have the potential to cheat, and this is why I'm explaining.
And this is the time.
This is the time.
This is the time when you would cheat.
If you decide to withhold sex and we are
so you wouldn't leave that person, but you would cheat on them.
I'm getting to it. Hold on. Hold on.
I see the thinking. It's like,
hold on. Let me tell you what. I'm not saying I would do that, right?
Okay.
But what I'm saying is I understand why people do it.
Okay. That's what you're
saying. So
you were putting yourself in a situation, so I had to ask.
No, it adds to the potential because knowing what I know and understanding why people do it is likely. I'd much rather get out of the situation myself personally, but it's likely
as a sensible person should.
Yes, but I'm saying being that the potential is there, this would likely be the reason why the potential would exist. This is what I'm getting at. If you use sex as a bargaining chip, dude's gonna get sex from somebody else. Chicks gonna get sex from somebody. I only include women in this as chicks are gonna get their sex from somewhere else too, because some dudes do it. It's rare. Because if I'm in a disagreement, if I'm in a disagreement with you, I'm not withholding sex from you unless you violated my trust, or if you try to physically attack me, different. But if we just had a disagreement about something, I can rationalize that it's really not relevant enough for me to be withholding anything from you. Because at the end of the day, in 2 minutes, I'm gonna get over myself, and I want to get over myself knowing that I took away some sex.
Back then, I was more emotional. Because for example, if I had a disagreement with my girlfriend at the time, I'm angry. I'm like, I don't want to be touched. I don't want to be,
That's the mentality of a lot of people, and some people. Some people are gonna be like that. You definitely adapted since.
The next day we were probably fucking, and
right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So thinking about that, knowing that, right, knowing that now, and thinking how people do that, then if we're together, we're in the same bed. That's my designated cooch. I'm her designated dick, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
There's kind of an expectation that if we're not really beefing, and I want some, I should be able to get some, and vice versa. So in the situation where you decide to hold it as a bargaining chip because we have a simple disagreement and we're gonna go back to sleeping in the exact same bed, I understand why dudes develop that interest in other people, because over time, it happens the first time, okay. Happens the second time, okay. Happens the third time, is
I'm just saying, masturbation is key.
Bitch, the side chick is incoming. Keep playing these games.
I already pointed her out.
She's already selected. I just got to place the order.
Damn.
The fourth time it happens, congratulations, you are main chick. That is your title now, because there is a side chick. Ain't no only one chick. There's a main chick and a side chick now, and you're just taking the main role. That means that you still have the commitment of him being there, supporting you, being in the same house, taking care of you.
But you do this shit to me one more time.
But somebody else will be catching the dick more often than not.
Okay, so to wrap that up, you saying like you understand why?
I understand why
if
people do it.
use it as
don't use sex as a bargaining chip. That's a horrible idea.
Okay.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Oh, you heard it. Don't do that.
Hey, if you want to be in your feelings and do it, that's cool. But understand what I just said.
He will. Or she will.
Like people, like the more knowing how humans are, the more you're gonna reject somebody from an idea is the more they're gonna entertain it. Mm-hmm. So if you keep rejecting sex, and that's what they wanted, they're gonna get it from somewhere.
Okay. Are we a sex podcast now? Is that where we're becoming?
Nah, we just talking about it because
we just like talking about sex though.
Sex is dope.
I mean, sex.
It's the first time we talked about it. It may not be like a concurring theme.
Yeah,
but
I remember that.
We just went off on it. You know what I mean?
I remember that.
Yeah, we went off on it. I just had to get that out there. I gave you the opportunity to make me talk about it a different time, but you said, "Hey, now's the best time."
No, I mean it was because I think it was a good bow to wrap on.
Yeah, no. But that's pretty much how I feel about that. I understand why y'all cheat because of that. It's still not right. But
we started with double standards, and in a serious note, and then we went to double standards in sex, and went to like maybe double standards
behaviors with, and then we went into it. It kind of drifted in the same direction.
Yeah,
like behaviors in sex when it comes to understandings between men and women.
Yeah,
like preach the equality like across the board. If we not gonna withhold the dick, don't withhold the cooch type of shit.
Basically.
You know what I mean?
You see, there's people right now that's thinking about holding the coochie.
If you are, again, do what you got to do if you feel like it's absolutely necessary. But bear in mind what I just said. A lot of cheating starts just like that. It ain't start because dude was being thirsty to begin with. It started just like that. He got sex withheld one too many times. He got irritated and he found somebody who was a viable candidate that wanted to work. And she got it.
All right.
And he got it.
Just live life, have sex if you want to, freely, with consent.
If you want to know, when you want to have sex, have it freely.
There are people still that doesn't want to have sex.
I don't know what kind of shit you want.
I'm just saying.
Not you, but like them. I don't know. I mean, if you're doing it for religious reasons, do that. I guess.
Be you.
But if you're a sexually active person, you really just don't want to have sex for whatever the reason. If you're not with somebody, I understand.
Right.
If you're with somebody,
moi.
Who are you doing it with? That's my question. If you're in a relationship and you don't want to have sex, somebody getting it.
All right.
You're lying to yourself at that point.
We dragging it at this point. Anyway,
all right. It's your boy Mo.
It's your boy Bobby. Thanks for listening. Peace out.
All right. Take care.